This is to help you make wholesome contributions to these conversations. Let nothing unwholesome come out of your mouth, but that what is helpful for building others up, okay? Christians, I want you guys to be wholesome. I want you guys to be helpful with your speech. That is the point here, okay? That is what we're trying to do here. We're trying to be wholesome, helpful, building people up, okay? Who am I speaking to? I'm primarily speaking to my white brothers and sisters. Doesn't mean if you're not white, you're not allowed to be a part of this conversation. It doesn't mean anything like that. Ephesians 4:29, okay? If you're a Christian, this directly applies to you. If you follow Jesus, this directly applies to you. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. That is what we're doing here. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth. What about black on black violence? There's all kinds of statistics out there, okay? All kinds of statistics out there. Overwhelming majority of the crime that's committed, violent crime, petty crime, is usually more about proximity. It's committed against people within your proximity, within your local area, within your local community, than it is by out groups, right? So black on black crime is a deflection because white on white crime is never brought up. Hear me out. What about black on black crime, right? What about black on black crime? What does that have to do with police officers who took an oath to serve and protect killing unarmed black men? Okay. And yes, white people as well, but at huge disproportions, 3-to-1, 4-to-1, okay, ratios. White people don't get mad at me, okay, but it would be the equivalent of what if I push back with this? What if I push back with, hey, what about the fact that the overwhelming majority of serial killers are white? What about the fact that the overwhelming majority of rapists are white? What about the fact that the overwhelming majority of mass shooters are white? You see how that's not helpful? You see how that's all true? All true, by the way. All true. Those are all true. How is that helpful to the discussion? How is that wholesome to the discussion? How is that building up to the discussion? Okay. Black on black crime? What about black on black crime? Thank you, Jake. Go listen to Bizzle's music. Go listen to the countless other black rappers who are constantly speaking out about black on black violence. What about black on black crime? You sound like you've never, you don't know any black people that are doing anything about against black on black crime. You know how many black people I know that are working in these areas trying to reduce black on black crime? You know how many people I know who are running organizations? Do you know how many people I know that are in after-school programs and YMCAs and coaching and marching and community organizing to diminish black on black crime? Do you not understand that there's so many people already doing that? As if no one's talking? Are you serious, fam? That just reveals to me that you probably don't have that many black friends. Because I know a lot of black people, fam, and a lot of them are doing a lot of good stuff about black on black crime. Okay, I know a lot. One of my really good students, my former roommate that used to live here, is working at a transitional program for juveniles. They're trying to get juveniles to not stay in these cycles. You know how I know? Because they bring them to our concerts. They pick these kids up and they're bringing them to our concerts. They're bringing them to church, fam. What about black on black crime? Really? Really? You don't know anybody that's doing anything about black on black crime? I think that question is more telling. That question is way more telling. Do we need more black people doing black on black crime prevention? According to who? According to who? According to your experience, because you have 2 black friends and they don't do any street ministry? I could think of a dozen guys right now, that are either have started nonprofits, work in nonprofits, do street ministry, do prison ministry, do street outreach. So black on black crime is it's a complete deflection. It's a complete deflection because we don't talk about white on white crime. We don't talk about white serial killers, white mass shooters. We don't talk about that. So it's not helpful. Let nothing unwholesome. I'll bring the verse up again. Let's look at the verse again. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but only that which is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. One of my good friends, Pastor Miles McPherson, wrote a book called The Third Option. I linked this sermon in the description and in the pinned comments on YouTube. It's a great sermon. All of you guys should watch it. Let me show you guys this and then I'll close. This is Pastor Miles. This is his solution. It's Pastor Miles McPherson. And this is all linked up, by the way.
For the first time in my life, I realized that the racism I had experienced had put a cloud of powerlessness over my life. I felt powerless to the white culture. I felt like white people can do whatever they want to me. That was my experience. It's from what I experienced. It's from what I saw. Doesn't mean all white people are bad. This was my experience. And when I saw that, it triggered. And I want to say something to all my white brothers and sisters. You have power. The white culture has more power than black culture, which is why those things can happen. And racism will be eliminated when we work together, but we need your voice. We need your voice. We can't just have people of color screaming that this is wrong and speaking out. And I want to speak to my church. I need your voice. Because there are people in your family right now who are hurting. Don't get me wrong. I know you're hurting, but we've been hurting. And I want to encourage you to make your voice known. Make a video with your face and your voice saying you denounce this violence, saying that you want equal justice for everyone. Say that you believe that a black life is just as valuable as a white life. Say it. Because I can tell you for years we have heard nothing from a lot of people. Trust me, I know a lot of white people do great things, don't get me wrong. But as I said in the very beginning, you have to deal with whatever God speaks to you as an individual. And we want to help you, give you a voice. We do want to help you give you a voice, but we need your voice because the group that we're all in says, here are the things you should and should not say. God says, I want you in my group. I want you standing up for righteousness, even if it risks some criticism.